My guest for the morning, Horace Ni Ayi Ankra, is a former chairman of the NDC for UK Ireland. And thanks for joining me, sir.
It's a pleasure.
How was your weekend?
Pretty cool.
Okay, and Fred Amonkwasafo is also a member of the MPP.
Thank you.
Okay. He's also a businessman as well. Actually, both of them are. All right, so let's start the discussions and let's get to business. Just over the weekend, we heard about a new Ministry of Power which has been created, etc. But before we do all the talk about energy and the crisis that seem to be affecting Ghana and linking it to the budget, because a lot more commentary has been made on the statement as presented by the Finance Minister on Wednesday to Parliament. Let's talk about the subject of Ruby Edujemfi or Nayele Amatepe or Irene Teria or any other alliances that you seem to know in connection with the Cocoaine Saga. Somehow, 3 other people still have been picked up linking to the very case that seemed to have gained a lot more media prominence than usual. And so I have to start with you. Your own thoughts about how the case was reported, went, and how it's being handled currently.
Oh, thank you. Let me say good morning to your viewers. And like I said, I'm happy to be here. And but before we go on, I hope your bosses are watching us. Because, you see, when you invite us here, we take it more seriously.
Okay.
Seriously in the sense that whatever we say or do can actually educate somebody out there. So we take it upon ourselves to be here without you paying us anything. Okay. So if you should take me about 15 minutes before I get a parking space, please let your bosses know that time is money, and some of us, we believe that in serving our nation, these are some of the things that we could do. So please make sure that when you invite us here, because it's going on for too long, and I think that the authorities here should make sure that that is addressed. To go further, talking about the lady, now these are the sort of things that I always say that for you to get matters right in resolving certain issues that affect society, like corruption and stuff like that, you always handle it with the speed of a revolution, but at the same time has the hallmarks of democracy. I always say that. Yes, and I'm happy that since the arrest, if you look at the posture of government, the posture of the security agencies, and all those who are involved to making sure that they get to the bottom of this matter, we can all appreciate what is being done. As to the arrest, I don't know why those people have been arrested, but I also would have to think that there's a difference between somebody being arrested and somebody being invited, you know, to sort of like help resolve the matter. So we have to be careful not to say what we don't know as to why those 3 have been picked up. My problem with this saga, my problem with any time that we tend to be looking at drugs is the way that we tend to position ourselves. If I'm NDC, then this thing here should have a link with the MPP. If the MPP man here, I bet he or she will do his best or her best to link it with to the NDC. Now, since this matter came up, I have never ever heard anybody addressing what cocaine actually does to the youth. Not only of this nation, but of this world. Not just the youth, anybody at all who takes cocaine, sniff it. You understand? I'm addicted to Coca-Cola, yeah? And people tell me that there's something in Coca-Cola. And I can tell you that, I mean, it's like something happens to my... Yes, something happens to my body if I don't take Coca-Cola. I've taken Coca-Cola this morning, you understand? And people tell me about what Coca-Cola can do. So I want us to actually, if the agencies are dealing with these matters, people like us, yeah, should stress on the fact that cocaine is simply not good for your health, and it is destroying the youth all over the world. So when we get the opportunity, I believe that what we also have to do is actually call on the agencies who are addressing these matters to also go into educating the public as to what cocaine can do to your health. Not just you being a youth, even if you're an adult and you are sniffing that, it is a shame. So I'm glad what is happening, the way the agencies, government, and everybody concerned is actually handling this matter so that we can get to the bottom of this case. Now, in terms of security, well, the CCTV is revealing matters, and the country, the people of this country will get to know what actually happened. But if she could go through Kotoka International Airport, then there's a whole lot to be, a whole lot of questions to be answered. So I think that the CCTV camera should be studied, and then those who actually are involved should be arrested and punished. Now, it goes down again, and the NACOP board had been dissolved. As to why it is dissolved, were they inefficient in making sure that that particular lady had been arrested before getting to Heathrow, or you have the cumulative effect of certain instances that have actually drawn all the matter to this particular point that has necessitated the NACOP board to be dissolved. I'm saying that because in politics we have what we call political dishonesty. You see, like you know that what it is, but you are acting in a different manner to sort of like
just to cloud
yes,
public perception
yes.
about.
So I always want to have a reason for a decision, and I think that if you always have a reason for a decision, that is where people will actually come along with you. But having said that, all in all, government and the necessary agencies, I think they are on top of their game in this matter, and I'm happy that up to this point, in a very short time, steps have been taken to sort of address that. Now, this lady is in jail in the UK, and apparently the High Commissioner in the UK sent some people to visit the lady in prison, and everybody is talking. It's not, why should we talk? It is part of their duty. It is not just the UK, even in the US, Germany, wherever.
If you have your citizen.
If you are the ambassador there or the High Commissioner, if you have a citizen in jail, yes, it is part of your duty to visit.
All citizens.
Yes, I have visited the Wandsworth prison on 2 or 3 occasions.
The point is, you are not a High Commissioner.
I am not a High Commissioner. No, hold on. I am not a High Commissioner, and I wasn't the High Commissioner, yeah, when I visited. But because of the individual who was in there, linking to what I was doing in the UK at that point in time, yes, I knew that it was the duty of the High Commission to visit these people in prison, and yes, I joined the group to visit the individual. So please, we shouldn't make all sorts of stories from these things, because it is their duty to sort of like check on individuals from your country who are in prison or have been picked up for doing 1 or 2 things wrong. So let us not make politics with that. Let us even have that as part of the education that we need in terms of our missions abroad.
Well, Fred, Horace talked about CCTV cameras being studied, and after studying, they picked up 3. Not necessarily if you take a look around the story, or you take an insight into the story surrounding their being picked up, is because perhaps they saw them in the camera, ushering the lady from one step to the other, etc. And so as a result of that, they are linked to it in many respects. And also because it's an ongoing investigation. The way government has quickly seemed to have worked on this very subjects of the report as emanated from UK into the local press. It's all in a bid to make sure that, well, this is actually dealt with in the meantime.
Well, thank you very much, and good morning to our viewers. Let me take this opportunity to wish my brother, Chris Safo, and the wife a very successful marriage. I was in Kumasi over the weekend to oversee that the marriage goes on successfully. Yes, to your question, it's interesting that these people have been picked up, and so the public must know, and investigation is ongoing. Cocaine and its investigation, I'm sure that you wouldn't even want to put it out there for anybody to take heed, and those who are really involved to just run away. I'm sure that you would have been very discreet about it and complete the whole investigation.
Well, they are discreet, but the point is that the press also seem to be picking that information.
So who gives the press the information?
Well,
somebody does.
But the press is entitled to pick whatever information from any source that they want.
Right, I don't want to debate you on that. The press will do everything to get the information that is required. But to be proud that yes, this is what we've picked this, and it is CCTV we are doing. Straight away, you are telling the perpetrators to go and attack the CCTV. So they'll also find means of robbing the data on the CCTV. I think that we are doing something wrong here.
Don't you think by this time all those links
that even makes the situation, the way we've handled this whole situation very murky. Look, somebody's picked up in UK. A whole lot of different scenarios play out. Different names were thrown out there. Different passports were, whether she was a Ghanaian or not. Everything was so murky. We have the NACOP come up with a statement to tell the world that, look, we are in cahoots with the authorities in UK to arrest this woman. The British authorities come to say, no, that is not true. We did this alone. Are you satisfied with this being handled by the government of Ghana? No. And then the following day, the NACOP is dissolved. Why dissolve something that had nothing to do, had not committed any crime? So we are rushing. You have a president himself come out to defend and explain away why people were picked up and how the investigations were going on. You had ministers of state coming to defend the whole issue. In fact, we have not handled it well at all. If indeed the country is ready to fight the drug menace. I don't want to politicize it, because for me, crime is a crime, no matter who commits it. The person could be anywhere. But unfortunately for our people, our friends on the other side, that had been their stock in trade from well over 2000. The menace of cocaine had been with us. And anytime an issue crops up, the NDC is quick to point.
So you're saying the current politicization is good equalization? I'm
not. I wish we should not. We shouldn't do that.
Comment on it.
I wish we don't do that.
Don't even allude to past issues.
No, past issues would
based
come
on your
out.
statement. You're saying
Even today, you have people trying to equalize it. Oh, this happened in the NDC in the era of MPP, so it should go on. We keep doing this to corruption, to economy, and we don't go forward. And that's my worry. As a citizen of this country, that's my major worry. We let crime go away. We explain crime away because of political leanings or something. I'm not sure anybody, you can just look at somebody and say, you are a criminal, if the law enforcement had not caught you up on that. Right. So I am very concerned about my colleagues' way of explaining things away.
So you're not satisfied?
Okay. I'm just concerned that the government had handled it well. I'm sure that if you're doing something, if you're doing an investigation into a very serious crime as this, that had gotten the government's nose soiled in so many scenarios around just about a week. Look at the number of issues that had come out.
Let me ask you this. Based on what you've posited right now, how would you have wanted the government to handle it in the first place?
Your government should not lie. You don't have the facts, you don't say it, you don't comment on it. You don't have the facts.
What do you mean by that? You mean they shouldn't give...
They shouldn't give the impression that they were collaborating with authorities in the... Why would you want somebody... Why would you want...
It's a government agency, but not necessarily...
My goodness. Right? When the issue happened, what happened? Why did the government dissolve the NACOP? Because the government has a hand in it. The government appoints. Okay. So if you appoint somebody and he's not acting right, you need to put measures in place to stop it. To allow cocaine to travel, leave your shores to another person's jurisdiction when you have seen it, and then come out to tell the world that yes, this is what I did. It's really mind-boggling.
Okay, point made. Horace, the question that has been asked time and time again.
Before you ask any question, I think it is very, very worrying. I don't think in explaining myself away, I was actually politicizing this matter.
What do you mean?
I don't think I remember myself even mentioning any political party. But it is sad if we should actually look at the whole thing up to date and think that government has come out and government is trying to even defend.
But that's not what he said.
No, President. Hold on.
Did you mean a government is coming out with contradictory
please.
allusions?
Maybe that's the word that my good friend was looking for. But for you to say that the president has come out defending, please
explain away.
No. That's not the expression, the phrase that you used.
Defending why somebody was picked up. That was what I said. A media man was picked up. So the president defended why the media man was picked up.
The president is telling us why the person was picked up. I think the president was actually not happy with how everybody else was rushing to give information out there. So the president was also thinking that, yes, typical media, scandalous kind of thing. We are not even, as media people, looking at social policy to even debate it properly, to put government on its toes. Just a minute. But here we are with this particular matter. The media is coming out with different sort of things. So I think that was what the president was looking at. The president wasn't actually defending this kind of matter. Now, nobody else can also say that in this particular cocaine issue, government has its nose everywhere. Government is not involved in this.
Really?
Can you prove that government has?
Can you prove that government don't have any hand in it?
I can't prove that government.
So
hold on, please. I can go your style, but each time that I appear on television, I want to educate and do my best to also learn from whoever I'm here with. But let us actually go out there and make sure that we speak the truth. President has never defended this thing. Government hasn't got its nose everywhere. I believe that the agencies involved are doing their best, and government is putting the speed of a revolution into this thing so that this matter could be resolved. Now, whether it went through here, which you could blame our security for that, whether the Heathrow agencies are denying any collaboration, what I know about security too is that, listen, the fact that somebody goes through a system smoothly doesn't mean that that person is not being watched. You understand? The person could be there. We could all see on the CCTV that this person is having a smooth passage, but trust me, the person could be watched. So there's a dichotomy to everything that we are here to say this morning. And I believe that in treading carefully, we should also be very, very, very honest with ourselves. Not one, to bring the president into this, and two, making sure that any particular agency who is doing its best to making sure that this matter is resolved, we have to make sure that we commend them.
Okay. Do you think, and a lot of people have commented on this, that perhaps we're not dealing with a substantive. Beyond the dissolution of boards, picking up of people, we've not seemed as a country to have dealt with how officials who are expected, whether they are small subordinates or
the substantives,
or the big ones that are expected to be perhaps also responsible for certain activities in certain areas, not taking up the responsibility of doing what they're supposed to do. I.e., for example, for somebody to have said to use the VVIP section of the airport, which is used, I know, by the president and other high-ranking officials, either when they visit or they are going out of the country, etc. It means that it could be with a collusion of anybody, not necessarily a government official, but somebody who has been appointed in high authority.
Yeah, I think it's something that is wrong in the first place. Because,
not worrying?
It is worrying. It is worrying because, listen to me, the airport is a very, very, it is an area that has to be guarded. I mean, 24/7.
It's a sensitive area.
It is very, very sensitive, and for anybody at all who could pass through, what do you call it, the VVIP, I mean.
Because we all know how the VVIP is. You have to be ushered in, well secured.
I think you have a security thing that you even have to sort of use at the gate and blah, blah. But you and I know how it is abused to the highest level. in this country. Anybody at all could
But
use
it's with the
PVIP.
connivance of government officials, right?
Not necessarily government officials.
If I'm saying government officials, I'm not saying necessarily ministers and other
no, people there could
it could be a
easily,
high security official,
people there
a
could,
high foreign ministry official.
people there could easily do that. I mean, I remember I was.
You mean normal
yes, I was
security
at a
guards
check-in some time ago, and somebody came to me and said, "Oh, Chair, why are you not using VVIP?" I said, "What do I have to pick up there? I'm not supposed to be using it. I don't have the license to use it. I'm supposed to be using the ordinary passage, and that is what I believe in. So I'm using it. If the opportunity presents itself and I'm supposed to use that place, yes, fine. I mean, so we have to actually respect these things, but we do our best to sort of like connive with whoever that we know to use certain areas that we are not supposed to be using. And I think that the security agencies there should actually watch and make sure that these things are streamlined.
For all the talk that you made, Fred, which doesn't seem to go well with Horace, in the context of depoliticizing the subject, how well do you think that we need to first talk about this very subject, respond to it, and deal with it?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Going forward,
I think that I would still insist that the government had not been clear of all the nuances involving
you mean they've been contradictory?
Very, very. And even here, my brother just made a statement. One point...
He's not a public official, so you can't hold him
My
to
brother just made a point. One point is that, yes, the fact that somebody is allowed to go through doesn't mean that he's not being caught or he's not being seen. Sometimes security system would allow you to go and then you are apprehended at the last point. That could be brilliant. But to allow the system to be abused such that the system will not capture it and come out to tell us a statement that the other side will say, no, you didn't give us any information.
Okay.
All right. It makes it worse. We do not need to politicize it. I will insist that we should not politicize it.
Who reported that? Who reported that from the UK?
The information came from a newspaper.
Yes. Listen to yourself.
The information did not come. The information did not come from the authorities in Ghana.
All right, guys.
Okay. Let me make my
point. Let me also make my point. You had your day.
Before you jump.
You had your day. Let me make my point.
Okay, make your point.
We do not need to politicize this. We should go for those who are involved in it. But the government or the NACOP or whichever security agency which is involved in this investigation should not be quick to come out. I am scandalized. That
you are thinking by this time we should have picked up about 20 people?
Not necessarily. Even if it could take a year to get it done. But let people speculate. Let those of us
but you're
who
not precising whatever you want or whatever you think or deem.
What I think is, I'm just making the point. We should not get these people who are involved in it to come out with the information. The president himself coming out to explain things away. I mean, I think that the number of people
the president came to explain an incident that happened.
Didn't he have a communication director
Fred,
or a
and
spokesperson?
It was on a platform which was opportune because it was to mark 20 years of media pluralism in Ghana.
Yeah, this is the president speaking.
Yeah, so I guess he took the opportunity also.
Yes, to make that point.
He's a communication person as well.
Well, so he's a president. Now he's acting as a president.
Well, do we understand?
And after the number of people who have been making contradictory statements, if you think that
so you think that people should keep their mouth shut?
They should keep their mouth shut and get to the bottom of it.
A coherent communication.
Exactly, and get to the bottom of it, rather than everybody picking up pieces and lying to us.
We change this. We change what we're talking about.
Oh, my last response is so simple. Now, if people are not happy with what various people are saying, then you shouldn't also be happy reading something that had actually come from a newspaper in the UK. What you would have to be happy about is a report coming from the Home Office in the UK, because this is a Home Office kind of matter in the UK. And if you should read something...
You have been in the UK.
Just a minute. What I'm trying to say is that if my good friend is saying that what is happening here, everybody is talking, and that is not the right thing to do, I am also telling him that he should not also believe what is coming out from a UK newspaper or a section of the Heathrow kind of setup. If you want to believe this, then you want to read something from the Home Office in the UK. And then everybody could be here and say, this is substantiated, this is how the argument should go. Having said that, just like you agreed with everybody in Ghana, it was an opportune time talking to the media, because the media has various reports on this particular matter, for the president to actually comment on it. Because at the end of the day, what Cocoaine does to people and the people he is actually leading as president, yeah, he has the right to at least comment on it. So if we should say that...
but Horace, you agree it should be right commentary? It should go down well with everybody. The fact that a lot more people have a lot more disagreement with this comment also is a subject worth discussion.
Yes, because it will definitely affect his people. Right. So, as a president...
You know, we could go on and never get, because it's almost been over a week. I think that it's been close to about 8 days since the incident broke. That was reported by the social media and then the other localized media we have.